This is part 3 of the arcade mini bar top build. We have cut the side panel, so now we need to cut out all the individual pieces that are going to assemble the bar top. Just a quick overview of the parts that we need. We have the front piece, and also in front of the base we have the back piece, which is the back piece right below the back door. We have the back door itself. This is going to latch on with a piano hinge right around this area. We have the control panel overlay support, or just control panel, and that's going to be placed right here. This is the support piece. Now the control panel will be rounded over on this side, and it'll be pocketed here so that it can rest on top of this by pressure. So you just fit this piece on top and it should fit there by pressure and should stay. So we have our base support, which is going to be right here on each edge, and that'll be glued to both sides. And we have the door support, so this is one long piece that's going to span across one side to the other side. And on this piece we need to have magnets on here because that is how the door is going to close and open. So something I have not drawn here is the magnets for the back door and the magnets for the door support. Next we have the control panel itself. So we have the dimensioned rectangular piece. Again, this is going to be pocketed by 1/2 inch so that it fits the support right here. And then we have our top back support. So these are the pieces that are going to be supporting here and here. Again, these will have magnets. And when we do the pieces for the 1/4 material, we need to, well, these have the magnets already placed. So the only thing I'm missing is the door support and the back door magnets. So I'm going to go ahead and place them these two pieces are going to kind of match when the door closes. So I just dragged the copy of this rectangle over to here. Yeah, the dimensions are slightly bigger because we pocketed the side piece. So on here, with this placed over the back door, I'll just create a circle, make it the dimensions of the magnet, which is 0.47. And I will, I guess I'll space it out maybe 1 inch from the side. I'm just making a square as a spacer, and then I'll put this well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess I'll put it right there in the center. So I'll align that circle to the 1 inch 1 by 1.5 square, and then I'll do the other side. So I'll just put this square here, roll rectangle, and then I will bring this magnet across, and it should be already centered. But just to be safe, I'm going to center it again and delete this. So now I have my magnets placed on the back door. At the same time, I will drag these up. And actually, I'm gonna undo all the way back to my square, so I'll bring a copy of all of this up here, and that'll just help me align my magnet holes to the back door. At the same time, delete this and this. Okay, so now we have our magnets placed, and they should line up when we close the back door to the door support. The last thing we have is a marquee support. So these are literally 1/2 inch squares by 1/2 inch squares. They're going to be pocketed to all the magnets, and those are going to be placed as support pieces right here, because the magnets are going to be holding the plexiglass and the marquee at the same time. So it's going to be the piece of plexiglass, and then that's where we're going to stick the vinyl to. And then we're going to have the 1/4 MDF on top of that. So those are what these little squares are. Now that we have it ready for ESTL cam, I'm going to save it as, or actually export it as a DXF file, and call this individual pieces. And now I can take it over to ESTL cam. We need to now pocket this 1/2 inch material. So I'm going to start by making the part, which is the outside cut of the material. So that when we choose part, the router is going to know to cut outside our rectangle, and that's going to give us that piece. At the same time, I'll add some holding tabs, just top and bottom. That's all you really need. It's MDF, it's soft material. And go back and choose my depth, which is going to be 0.5. And I will select 1/8 ml. This is the bit and the settings that I'm using. This I'm going to put to 40 because it can handle that speed. I'm going to save as default. Okay, it's saved. And now this piece is ready to go. Again, this was our front piece. This is our back piece, same thing. All we need to do is part this out. And I'm going to have to stop the video here because I forgot to include a very important part on the back piece, and that is the game switch. So I'm going to go get those dimensions, bring the file back, and I should have it ready to go. Okay, we're now back on ESTL cam. I've replaced that missing piece on the back piece, and again I'm going to choose to part out this rectangle. Add holding tabs. Holding tabs are 0.063 inches, and that's enough for this. And the depth will be 0.5, which is the thickness of our material. So this piece is ready. Next piece, we're going to part it out. Same depth. And this one is going to become a hole. Just need to add some holding tabs for this one. And then I'm going to choose over here on the left. And that's going to be cutting out the inside. So that's going to also be 0.5. And that'll cut out that piece for our game switch. We do not really need holding tabs for this one, so I'm not going to add any. Okay, our back door needs to be parted from the outside. Depth 0.5. And some holding tabs.